Hello, I'm Courtney, what's up, and welcome to Book Talk. Today I'm going to be discussing The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight by Jennifer E. Smith. And I finished this last night. I read it over the weekend because I finished the Winter's Trilogy last week and I just needed a happy contemporary to make me happy because the Winter's Trilogy killed me. But that trilogy is fabulous. But I finished it last night and oh my gosh, it was so cute. This was just like everything I needed right now and it just made me feel so happy. It gave me all the feels. I was just smiling the whole time. Like, it was so rare to feel angry or upset while reading this book. I definitely enjoyed this more than Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between, which I have a spoiler-free review on that. I will link it in the description box down below if you want to go check that out. But if you don't know what this book is about, it's about a girl named Hadley, and she is going to the airport to get on a plane, obviously, because she's going to London for her dad's wedding. He is getting remarried, and she hasn't seen him like over a year because, you know, ever since her parents separated, she's just been very upset. She's been mad at him. She's never met the woman that he's marrying. She's just very conflicted with feelings and is just very upset. But she meets this British boy named Oliver at the airport and they hang out there and they're also on the same flight. They sit next to each other. They start talking and it's basically just the story of how much a person can change your life in just the span of a few hours. And I loved every second of it. I just loved the relationship between Oliver and Hadley. It was so wonderful and happy. I just loved every second of it. So that's all I'm gonna say for non-spoilers. So if you haven't read this book yet and you do not want to be spoiled, I would leave right now. So bye, non-spoiler people! Okay, so the statistical probability of love at first sight. That's a handful. I don't know why I struggle with that word, but I do. But speaking of this title, oh my gosh, at the very end when Oliver finally announces what he's studying at college and he says this, I about lost it. I was like, are you kidding me right now? The title of this book is what he's studying. He's studying how the probability of people falling in love at first sight. And I was like, him and Hadley are like an experiment and it's working. And I was like, oh, it was just feels everywhere. The last like 50 pages, I was just smiling the whole time because it was just filled with so much happiness and I was just like so happy because Oliver came to the wedding and they just taught and they were gonna dance in the rain but then they danced inside and he said that and I was like, oh my gosh, happiness. But going to the beginning, I really liked Hadley. I definitely liked her more than, I forgot the main character's name in Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between. But I liked Hadley more. I found her much more relatable. That may be because, like, she likes to read. But I also, I loved Oliver. Like, he reminded me so much of St. Clair from Anne and the French Kiss. This book gave me lots of Anna and the French Kiss feels. I don't know why. Just Hadley and Oliver reminded me of Anna and St. Clair a lot. And I like that because I love Anne and the French Kiss. Is this as good as Anne and the French Kiss? No, because nothing can beat Anne and the French Kiss. But this is close. This was really, really cute. And I just felt happy the whole time. Like, I feel like I was only really angry while reading this book whenever Hadley, like, kept talking about pushing away her dad and just her bad relationship. Because, you know, my parents aren't divorced. They're happily married. So it was really hard for me to understand her anger. Like, I understand why she was angry. Because, like, yes, her parents divorced. He left her mom so he can move to England and be with a different woman. Like, I totally see why she's angry. But it was just hard for me to relate to that since I have parents who love each other. So it was hard to understand that aspect because that's a huge part of the book. Her trying to figure out her relationship with her dad and her dreading this wedding and seeing him move on and marry a new woman and have this new life. And I totally understand her anger and her being all upset and, like, wanting to get rid of the book. Oh my gosh, every time she talked about, like, leaving that Charles Dickens book somewhere or, like, giving it back to her dad, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this book is going to be important, and how she would flip through it and find underlined lines and they would, like, hit her with feels. I was like, see, I told you, it would be important. Like, don't get rid of that book. But she still put it on the hood of that car but then Oliver returned it, and I was like, thank you. But back to her dad, you know, I totally understand why, like, she was pushing her dad. Like, he left his family to go be with someone else. Like, understandable. But I just got upset every time she talked about just, like, pushing him away and just kind of, like, not talking to him, or, like, having him as the professor in her phone, because, like, I don't know where I would be without my dad. Like, I could not push my dad out of my life. So, and I just loved it when she went back to the hotel and she was standing by the door and she saw him and she just started crying because she just suddenly realizes, you know, I've spent like over a year trying to push this guy out of my life, and she just suddenly sees how important he is, and they have that wonderful talk in the hotel, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're all coming together. It's Ohana. Ohana means family. It was just full circle, and I loved it. I loved Charlotte. I loved Violet. I just like loved everyone. There was no one I really like hated in this book. Everyone was just enjoyable to me, and I just loved the end with the wedding and how she was like happy, and how when she called her mom in the end and she calls her Charlotte, and her mom was like, oh, so she's graduated from that British woman to Charlotte now. I loved that. I just loved how she finds her peace and she can be happy with her dad and her stepmom, and now she has Oliver. Oh my gosh, Oliver's just so big. I need myself an Oliver, and it was just like so cute. I just loved every second of it. I think that's all I gotta say for this book. Overall, I loved it. It was so good. Thank you all so much for watching this book talk, and I'm Courtney. I'll see you all next time. I'm gonna do a video up soon, so I will see you then. So, bye!